You're listening to the Curate Your Life Podcast with Temetria, episode 103. Be mindful of what you allow in your life. Hi, I'm Temetria, a single woman in midlife, but not quite ready for the moo life. I'm focused on curating a life that I love, a life that is bold and vibrant and full of purpose. And I'm passionate about helping other women do the same. So join me if you're ready to curate a big, bold, beautiful life that you love. Well, hello. I am here to talk to you about all the things midlife, what's going on for you in your world, and how to make every day better, how to make every day your day. So that's what we're going to talk about in general, but I want to talk about the fact that I am hearing the word curated all over the place lately. People are talking about curating this, curating that, or having curated experiences. And I love it. And I think that is what happens when you focus on something, right? You start to notice it more in different places where you didn't notice it before. Or say you decide to get like a red pickup truck. I'm in Texas, let's go with it. And I used to have a red truck. You decide to get a red pickup truck and you see them all over the place where you hadn't noticed them before and they were there before, but you just didn't notice them. So curated experiences and events and museum exhibits and spaces have been around forever. I know that. And I've been talking about curating your life for a while, but I just have noticed that I'm hearing it more lately, which I feel like means that I'm onto something. And I do know that I'm onto something. So I want to talk about that and kind of what it means. And I'm sure I've shared this with you before. The three steps to the curate your life process are pretty simple when you get down to it. You need to have a vision for your life. You need to know what you want your life to look like. Really detailed, specific vision that speaks to you and that you have a good why for. Why do you want it to be that way? Why is that your vision? And you only have to have that why, and it only has to resonate with you. It's not for you to explain to somebody else. It's for you to connect with, for it to speak to your soul. So you have your vision, you have your why, and then you eliminate, stop, get rid of the things that don't fit that vision. So I've used this example before. So the Four Seasons is a very curated space, the hotel, right? They have a definite image or vibe or whatever you want to call it. They have a vision for their spaces. And I doubt that you will see a playscape in their backyard or on one of their lawns. Now, maybe if they have a Four Seasons at Disney, I don't know, I haven't been to Disney in years, maybe they do have one there. And I bet it's fancy, high quality, right? But for most Four Seasons that you walk into, there's probably not going to be a McDonald's type playscape there. That does not fit what they are trying to create. So eliminate, stop, get rid of the things that don't fit your vision. And that doesn't mean that they're bad or not good or not worth it. That just means that whatever it is, the experience, the things, the possessions, the things that you're doing don't fit your vision. So that's step two. Step three is to add, or that's one of the steps. The one main step, first step is vision, and then the other two you can intertwine and go back and forth. The next step is to add or bring in or enhance what creates the vision. So if you need to learn something, if you need to start doing something, if you need to do something better, if you need to change things, just whatever happens, whatever that needs to happen to enhance the vision that you have for your life, start doing that. So those are the 3 steps. What I want to talk about today, I want to talk about it in a little bit different way, is think about what you allow in your life. Once you have that vision, or even if you haven't really crafted that vision and you're just kind of thinking about this for the first time, think about the things that you let in or allow in your life. And are they things that you want in your life? And if they're not, why are you allowing them in your life? So I kind of think about, like those swanky clubs in New York where there's a line around the building, but there's a bouncer and he's only letting certain people in. They have a vibe, they have a type of person that they want in that club for whatever reason. Or maybe like a really nice supper club with a dress code, right? They're not going to let you cruise in from the beach with your flip-flops and your surfer shorts. You're going to need closed-toed shoes, a nice dress, a jacket, whatever, because they have a feeling that they are trying to create, an ambiance, if you will, that they're trying to have for their restaurant. You can also think about this way. Think about a Michelin star chef preparing a dish. Let's say, y'all know I'm not like a cook. I I know how to, I do sometimes. It's not my passion. So let's say you have a Michelin star chef making a bolognese. Probably not what they're going to be making, but they're not going to put something weird in it, or they're not going to use more than likely canned tomato paste, right? Or tomato sauce. They're going to start with hand selected tomatoes and they're going to reduce them down and add seasonings and maybe red wine to really create a Michelin star worthy bolognese. So they don't allow just anything in that dish. So, what are you allowing in your life? If you want a life that is creative and fun and free, you're probably not going to work in an accounting firm. Probably. You may, and you may have the creative, fun, free part outside of that. Being an accountant may be creative, fun, and free for you. But what I want to get across is that the vision, the plan needs to be yours, and it needs to be something that really, really resonates with you. Don't plan to do something, be something to please somebody else, to fulfill somebody else's dream, to make somebody else comfortable. Do your thing, live your life, because I think this is the only one you're getting, I'm pretty darn sure. Live it your way. And if it's what's important to you, what resonates with your soul, then it'll be easier to identify the things that don't fit, the things that you need to stop doing, the things that you need to eliminate. You will know what does not fit your picture if you have a very clear picture. And then you can identify what needs to happen. And it doesn't happen all at once. This is a process. Curating your life is a process. And it can start with curating your day. What do you want your day to look like? And I've talked about this before too. Wake up first thing in the morning and spend, even if you just spend 5 minutes, thinking about how you want your day to go, how you want to show up in your day, who you want to be. Do you want to be emotional and reactive and combative? Or do you want to be somebody who's calm, cool, and collected and living their life with intention? So start with your day if you can't see the way to curate your whole life. How do you want this day to go? And I know it's 1 o'clock or so, it is here anyway, ish. And so we're kind of halfway through this day or a good way through this day. You can start with, how do I want the rest of this day to go? How do I want to show up? Who do I want to be for the rest of this day? And do that. Start there. And then tomorrow morning, start with when you wake up, before you pick up social media, turn on the TV, check your email. I call it all of that the outside voices. Before you let in those outside voices, decide what you want your day to be like. Now, you probably still have to go to work. You may still have some obligations, people that you have to interact with. What do you want those interactions to look like? You can decide no matter what they do, no matter who they are, no matter what they bring, you can decide how you show up, what you bring to the table. So I spend a little time every morning, and I think we've talked about this too. I journal, I state my goal, but the 90-day goal that I'm working on, I rewrite it in my planner. I have a place for affirmations, a place for gratitude, what I'm grateful for, some priorities. Even though I've planned out my day, I like to rewrite them just to reinforce this is what I want to accomplish today. This is what I want to get done. Or it could sometimes my priority is being calm, being relaxed, having fun. That can be a priority. That's going to be some of my priorities coming up in the next few weeks. I will tell you that. So I do that. That's the way I start my day. So if you're not in charge of anything else for the rest of the day, which I would argue that you are, you're in charge of that first 5, 10 minutes that you wake up before other things start to happen. You're in charge of deciding what you want for the rest of your day. It's not always going to go that way, but when you are grounded and you know when you're in a place of this is what I want, then you're less likely to be thrown off kilter when things happen, when things come at you. You can deal with them better. You can think about, okay, well, this is not what I planned, but now what do I want? Who do I want to be? How do I want to react to this? What do I want to do? What's my next step? A well thought out plan is really the key to handling what life throws at you, the unexpected, being able to be spontaneous. I know people are like, what? But if you have a plan, okay, say I have my whole plan, and I do, laid out for the next till the end of March. I really do. If you know me, you know. I have my whole plan laid out for till the end of March. If somebody came to me and said, okay, I can take you to Paris for 3 days, pick three, and let's go, I would know which 3 days I could maybe not shuffle some things around and go and not so much worry about it because then I'd know where I needed to fit things in when I got back from my fabulous trip to Paris. So planning can be freeing and it allows for growth, expansion, living your life to the fullest, and being in control of your life. It allows you to create the thing that you want. And that's what this curate your life process is all about. It's creating what you want in this one life that you get. Okay. That's what I have for you on this lovely Wednesday, March 5th. Happy almost spring. If you want help curating your life, that is obviously my jam, and I would love to talk to you about it. You can schedule a midlife wake up call, and we can talk about where you are, where you want to be, what's standing in the way, how to get there. And then we can talk about if coaching one on one will help you get there and if it's a good fit. Until next time, I do know what we're talking about next week. I may be on location next week because I do have my life planned out, but I think this is something that we need to hear. My single midlife women, we need to hear. And actually, I think all women are probably going to need to hear this. So stay tuned for next week. I hope you have a great week. Until then,